Hi everyone, my name is Quila Bueller. I'm a Presidential Silver Ambassador. I've been involved with Relive for 23 years. Got great results on these products. We were able to build a multi-million-dollar business right off our kitchen table, and I have the opportunity today to talk to you about propel your business to the next level. You know what? I love this workshop. It's really fun, and here the thing is, there's no pressure here at all, but you can apply the effort in your daily business to get up to those new levels. And as we go through this, I really want to share with you what I'm going to talk about here is not theory. This isn't something that I've just made up. The things that I'm sharing with you today are reality. And here's some really hard knocks. And if some of you listen to this and go, oh, well, then take action. 3% of adults, 3%. That would even go in Relive. 3% of adults have written goals and plans, and that 3% earns more than the other 97% put together. Which one are you? So goals are important. We do not know where we're headed if you don't have anything written down. And why on earth wouldn't you want to take control of your future? Javier Ramirez, he's over the North American sales in the Hispanic market in the United States and Mexico. And we were doing an appointment once in California, and he took out his cell phone because this girl said, she goes, I want to earn $4,000 a month. And he said, great. So he takes the phone and he sets it in front of her and he goes, you just earned $4,000 this month. What are you going to do with it? And she goes, I'm going to pay off my bills. He goes, okay. So then he takes the cell phone and he sets it in front of her again, and he goes, this is another $4,000. What are you going to do with it? I'm going to buy a car. All right. So the next month, this is another $4,000. What are you going to do with it? I'm going to pay off my car. All right. And we kept doing this for about 12 months until finally she had gotten all the things she needed. And he's like, this is another $4,000. What are you going to do with it? And she, as we got through this more and more, it became harder and harder. And you have to set a goal of what is the purpose for the income of what you want to make? What do you want to do with it? It's very, very important that you know that. I've always said this many, many times before in all the workshops that I do. Is this a business for you? Is it an interest, or is it a hobby? And businesses will propel you forward. Hobbies cost you money. So figure out, what is it for you? And the other thing is, when you're propelling your business to the next level, how does someone know what they can do with Relive if you don't do your part? You've got to show them the road to presidential. And if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know that road to presidential, well, any road's going to take you to wherever you're going to go. So get on the road, know where you're headed. Is there going to be pit stops and detours? Absolutely. But you got to get back on the road and keep moving forward. The other thing is, before we get started here, don't set a goal that everyone else wants you to make. You want to set the goal that you want to make. There's a book out that Anthony Robbins has written called Awaken the Giant Within. And he really talks about how a lot of us will do things to please other people. Yes, I want to be a presidential director. Yes, I want to be an ambassador. We'll do that. But then there's this back part of our brain that says, I know I'm never going to do that. Okay, unfortunately, you might be all excited, you know, and maybe for a day. In Relive, though, you want to get to that point, like me, 23 years later. It's something that you love, and you want to set those goals. But what he talks about is how the part that says you're never going to do it, unfortunately, that's going to drive your future. So you need to set the goals that are particular to you. Here we go. All right, in the distributors levels, we're going to talk about this. I'm going to kind of go, go back here. What do you want from Relive? All right, we overestimate, and hear what I'm saying and write this down if you need to. We overestimate where we will be in 1 year, and we underestimate where we'll be in 5. That's very important as you're building your business. Why is it that when people get involved in Relive and they're making, you know, $500 to $1,000 a month and they feel that that's a failure? Do you know what that means as far as a return in the bank of how much money you have to get that? A lot. Your effort needs to match your goal. So if you want to become a senior director and make $2,500 a month, and if I was sponsoring you and that's what you said, I'm going to say, well, how many hours a week do you think it's going to take you to make that $2,500 a month? And if you said 2, well, I'm going to tell you to rewrite your goals, because there's no way that anyone in Australia, New Zealand, or the United States, or around the world can work 2 hours a week in their business and make $2,500 a month when they begin. But after you've built your business, yes, that can happen. But don't live that lifestyle until you've earned it. And I would suggest and think that most of the people on this call are trying to earn that. So I've got, let's see, some daily plan of action sheets, and I think we're going to come up on those in just a second. But here's the thing. I have a board in my office. I've got 2 of them. And on the top board is really my some personal stuff. Like I have my leaders who are trying to move into new levels: key director, senior, master director, ambassador, presidential, bronze, ambassador, silver. So I've got those names and I've got check marks next to their name. Dr. Ted plaques. I have 1 through 10, and you know, the goal is to help somebody in our group always try to get a Dr. Ted plaque, 10 of those a year. Top 10, always like to have somebody in our group every single month in the top 10. The other thing is I have a spot for the rookie bonus. My goal is, I mean, perfect case scenario is for someone to earn the rookie bonus every month out of my organization. The other thing is key director. I mean, my goal is to have 6 to 10 new key directors in my group every single year. At the bottom of that, there's those leadership workshops that we have for people that have moved to senior director levels. And I've got 3 spots, and I put people's names in them. So those are the people that I know that are working there to get there. On that board also, I have my monthly goals, my business goals, focus on new people, be on time, fulfill my commitments. My yearly goals, balance. I like to exercise. I like to have, you know, this is a personal side. I like to do genealogy. I like to sew, and I love to work out. And then keeping usually a half a day a week as a personal day. All right, underneath it, I have another board, and it says on the top, if your life depended upon Relive, would you do things differently? You need to remember that. All right, and that's my mantra. I mean, I made that, and it's just something that I work by. So on the left, I've got all my Frontline Master affiliates, and I have requalify. And I put check marks next to their name as they're requalifying, because the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that they've requalified your 10 master affiliates to get that 10-star bonus. Then I have personally sponsored. I usually have 1 through 24. My goal is to sponsor 2 people a month. Sometimes I don't sponsor any, sometimes I sponsor 6. I mean, but that's the goal. Personally sponsored master affiliates, the goal is 10 a year. Do I make that every year? No. Do I make it sometimes? Yes, but that's the goal. Then I also have my organizational master affiliates. That's in my entire group, going all my levels down, and I write their names down. And I can kind of tell there's, like, some months I'll have tons and some months are slower. And I can look back and think, well, where was everybody 90 days ago? Because your business doesn't, what you do today is not going to reflect what you're doing right now. You'll see it 90 days down the road. Let's see. You need to know where you're going and how you're going to get there. And I think that you don't want to have any excuses. When you leave here, you're going to be hit with everything. And you're going to have stuff that comes your way. I've been going through it on a personal note with my mom, just having to put her into a assisted living. I could give you a perfect reason why I should just say, well, I'm going to sit Relive on the burner. No, Relive keeps going. If you were in a job, you get fired. Okay, I keep going because I love it. I'm maintaining everything, and that's what's fun for me. It keeps that normalcy in there. You all have jobs, And you've got to, you go to work no matter, because you earn money when you go to work. And I think that's the important thing. If you look at relive as that future, and you know without a shadow of a doubt that you're going to have success, that would all change. Okay, so you've got to look at that. There's a wonderful book out that I highly recommend. It's called No Excuses: The Power of Self-Discipline by Brian Tracy. He is a phenomenal, phenomenal author, and he really talks about self-discipline and personal success, self-discipline and character, personal excellence, and goes on and on and on. And he's got all these chapters in his book. And you know, a lot of people read the book, but you need to do the chapters. It's very, very important. All right. All right, let's talk about dream big and plan small. You've got to have a daily plan of action, and that's very important. You want to know what you're doing each day, and you know, what I do is I've got my calendar, and then every day when I've got my calendar on my computer, on Sundays I'll transfer that over into my week on a personal planner. And then every night I look on my calendar and look at my personal planner, and I know what's going to happen the next day. You've got to be able to do that. You want to get rid of any distractions. You're going to have them, all right? It just happens. So distractions are, you know, one of the things when I first started doing this business. Well, you're home, you're not working. And I'm like, well, I am working. And I said, you know, people say, well, can you do this? Look, I think you have to determine what is it that you can do and what is it that you're going to feel comfortable with. I mean, the whole reason that people are doing this is because they're trying to build a business. So if you're going to build a business, then you need to show up for work. It means that you're not going to be your own self. I mean, you need to be happy with where you're at. For me, I found that I could do absolutely everything that everybody wanted me to do, but I wasn't going to be able to move my business forward to where I needed it to. I needed to take care of myself. And I volunteered and I did things, but I didn't do it to the same extent that I did. Now, I can do whatever I want. So get rid of those distractions so that you can have a life. Anyone, you know, are you a person that's going to talk the talk? You need to walk the walk. And throw out every excuse of why you can't do this. Well, I've got this or I've got that. So does the rest of the world, all right? It's just very, very important that you throw out any excuse. All right. When we do our business, you have to think to yourself, red light, green light. Is what I'm doing moving my business forward? Very, very important, because if it's not, it's red light. Let me give you an example. Paying bills, filing, getting organized. Most of you are going to say, well, I function so much better when I'm organized. Terrific. Then do it before 9 o'clock in the morning and do it, you know, after 7 or 8 or 9 at night. That would be red light time. Green light is talking to people. That's what moves your business forward. That doesn't. Okay, paying your bills doesn't move your business forward. Talking to people does. Doing appointments, sending out information, doing webinars, that's green light. Red light, again, is just more paperwork and shuffling. Okay, but somehow we do both. So you want to look at yourself and ask yourself, you know, what am I doing? Where am I at on this? And, you know, am I more red light or am I more green light? Very simple. Is this moving my business forward? All right. Who's responsible for your business? You know what? If you fail and you don't make this business everything that you want it to be, the only one that you can blame is yourself. So let's talk about this. Look in the mirror, all right? If your business isn't moving forward, you have nobody to really look at but yourself. So if you're talking, I'm talking to all these people and it just isn't working, well, then talk with your upline and find out. And I didn't mean to be that way, but you guys, I hear that. And when I do, it's like, come on, let's just change a little bit, okay? You need to change the film in your projector. If things aren't moving forward the way that you want them to, then recognize it's something that you need to change. Okay, so don't be prideful and not want to change that. You want to go in and make the changes necessary so that you can have success. Use all of the resources available to you and understand what being successful is. It's up to you. And here's the thing, view yourself as having success. Walk into the room. We've talked about this in other workshops that I've done, and that is be clean, have your hair combed. Own that room. When you walk in, put your shoulders back, stand up tall, and be confident. That's not what no one can take that away from you. The only one that can do it is yourself. And that's why so many people are respected, because they have that confidence. And you want to have that too. The secret to having it all is believing that you do. That's actually a sign that's over in my office. You just have to believe that you do. And Plato said that the first and best victory is to conquer self. As you become better at Relive, so does your income. It's as simple as that. There's no shortcuts to this. We all have to pay our dues and we all have to do the business, so it's quite fun. Hard work in Relive is the key. Make a decision now that you're going to have success in Relive in your personal life and just go out and do it. All right, commitment. Here we go. It's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, it's what we do consistently. You need to be committed to give 100% to Relive if you want to get 100% from Relive. I'm going to say it again. You need to be committed to give 100% if you want to get 100% from Relive. Now, you might be saying, why only have cracks of time? Great. Give those cracks of time 100%. I can only do it part-time. Wonderful. Then give that part-time 100%, because if you do, you're going to be amazed. You want to decide what's most important. The time and financial freedom comes after that you've built it. We talked about that. Be your own tough boss. Have personal integrity. Example of what that means. I'm going to get up 5 days a week and I'm going to go exercise. Day one comes and you hit the snooze button and you don't go exercise. That's not personal integrity. When you have personal integrity to yourself, it's very easy to have it to others. If you don't make a commitment to yourself and have that personal integrity, nothing will ever change. And that's very, very, very important. I always like people to be committed for a year. Not committed for just 1 month or 3 months or 6, but 1 year. And we're going to talk about action, but you want to find that pace that you can be consistent at. All right, here we are, consistent action. Consistent, it means an object at rest will stay at rest until a force of energy propels it. Let me give you what? Debbie Grenz, she is a key director in our organization. We sponsored Debbie and her husband George, and they were doing the business. And the very first month they were 9th in the nation. We worked very hard. And 9th in the nation, they earned $9,000 in bonuses and trips that month right out of the gate. Well, the next 2 months she was celebrating. She was having fun, living on the past, and they were going to Debbie would, she'll laugh when she hears this. I mean, it's not anything that I'm saying bad, but they had lots of family stuff going on. They had everything that you can imagine was coming her way. And that's life. Life happens. But in September, which was, 3 months later, she's like, okay, I'm going to build this business, and I'm going to get things going. And so she worked really hard all month. She came to me and she said, Quila, she goes, this just isn't working. I just said, I agree. And she looked at me and she goes, what do you mean you agree? And I said, look, Debbie, and I hope that all of you guys hear this too. It's not what you're doing today. You could be working hard, just hard for today and this week and this month. It's not what you're doing right now where you're going to see the reflection in your check. It's what you did or did not do 90 days ago. I don't know why it's that way, but it's true. So whatever you're doing today, 90 days out, you're either going to have business that's going to be coming in or you're going to be sedentary. So be aware of that. Take profitable action every day. If you're expecting to build a business and do it only when it's convenient for you, then you need to think again. If everyone was willing to do what it takes to be a millionaire and Relive, then we'd have more. But not everyone is. So you need to ask yourself, are you that person that's willing to do what everyone else is willing not to do? And that's really what makes the difference in Relive is between a leader and somebody that just wants to follow. Are you a leader? I bet you are, because you're on this call, you're listening. And again, successful people in Relive, we do what other people are willing not to do. And we do more of it. More phone calls, we do more appointments, we miss TV shows. DVR them, watch them when you're running. It's not that big of a deal. All right? Don't be the coulda, woulda, shoulda person. You know, live a good life. Get going. Make it happen. Have a sense of urgency. Procrastination equals prolonged agony, and boy, does it ever. All right, so here I'm going to show you a couple different worksheets that I do. The first one is a weekly plan of action. So on the top part, I've got personal contacts. You'll see the goal, and I do Monday through Saturday. You could put Sunday in there if you wanted. And the goal, these are cracks of time. 2 people I'm going to talk to. I want to get 2 no's during the week. I want to try to do 2 appointments. I'm going to do conference calls, Monday night story calls, and on and on. So that's the, you know, what you're looking at here is suggested. You could do whatever you wanted, but I find that this helps. So look at part-time. So we're going to talk to 10 people a week. We're going to try to get 5 no's during the week. We're going to try to do 2 appointments, 5 conference calls, and on and on. But look at what happens when you're full-time. 30 contacts a week, 30 no's. That's like getting 5 no's a day, and no's are wonderful. 6 appointments a week. That's how we build a business. All right. You want to keep your pipeline full. Become a master affiliate factory. How many people are you talking to every single day? You want to get at least 3 different ways to always have people introduced to Relive. You must talk to people every day. If your organization isn't growing, take a look at what you're doing. They are following your lead. Once you've built your business, then go and buy your island. But until then, you know, work like your life depended on it. And if you knew what I knew, well, that's all I can say. Don't talk to just sick people. I mean, I built my business from a business perspective. Who can benefit from Relive? Everyone. When we share Relive, it means share the whole package, not just part of it. Share the business and the products. Don't go out and make a decision for people. They need to be able to make it themselves. People are financially sick. I mean, people go out and buy, and they have no way to pay for it. And they don't like being in debt. They just don't know what to do. If they knew that they had an opportunity with Relive, boy, could you imagine where the world would be. The capsules really are poised for exponential growth. They're a huge part of our business here in the States. And, you know, I'm just going to tell you, Relive's going to move forward with or without you. And you just need to ask yourself, what part is it? Are you going to be part on that rocket? And is it going to take off with or without you? So just ask yourself that. All right, your attitude. Boy, you've got to have a good attitude. What's yours? Be honest. Is it positive or negative? Do you light the room when you walk out, or do you light it up when you walk in? Is it positive? I mean, I've got people that will call me, and they're just complaining. You guys, I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to complain about things, but do it to yourself. You know, you don't need to go out and pull everybody else down with you. Positive attracts, negative repels. Are you flexible? Are you rigid? You know, one of the things that bothers me is that you'll have people that will get involved in Relive, and they'll go, well, they just had to cancel. You guys, that's part of what our job is. We have a lot of people that do cancel appointments. Hold on just a second. I'm taking a drink. When someone tells me they have to cancel, wonderful. They called you. They told you that they had to cancel, so reschedule. All right, it's not that big of a deal. But, you know, if they call and tell you that they have to cancel and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to tell you that's a bad attitude. So is yours flexible or rigid? Flexible accommodates other people's schedules. That's what we are doing. We are going out and we are serving the needs of our customers and our distributors. Rigid, well, it breaks. Are you confident about what you have, or are you unsure about what you have? Confidence assures people. If you're unsure about what you have, well, it creates doubt. Are you excited about what you have, or are you complacent? Well, I'm not going to follow anybody that's not excited about what they have. When you're excited, it creates interest. And when you're complacent, well, it begets disinterest. You want to celebrate the small victories, everyone, with what you have. Whether it's just talking to someone, putting them on the products, whatever that might be, because eventually those add up to bigger success, where now you've got master affiliates that are helping master affiliates, and they're growing and they don't need your help, and you're going to say, yay, hooray, they're independent of you. That's a good thing. Figure out what motivates you and do that every single day. Very, very important. You just want to go out and do this. You guys, this is the simplest business that you'll ever do in your life, and yet sometimes we make it so complicated. So go out, know where you're headed, set yourself goals, tie them to time. If you want to be at a new level, ambassador, presidential director, senior director, whatever it is by conference, by the national conference next year, which is in the summer, then just do it. Just go out and do it. There's no excuses why you can't make your goals. The only one keeping you from doing that is yourself. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.